Oh, yeah. Time for a Lucy break. Lucy Breakers, 100% nicotine, always tobacco-free. When do I use my Lucy? Whenever I want, really. Whenever I want some good mint flavor, because that's my favorite flavor is the Lucy Mint. These are 12 milligrams, people. Get together with me in enjoying these Lucy Breakers. Level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. I said that like Harvey Keitel. Let's level up your Lucy nicotine routine. Promo code J, J-A-Y. You're going to go to lucy.co/JAY and you get 20% off your first order. Lucy.co/J. Enjoy your Lucy Breaker. Thank you, Lucy, for sponsoring this podcast. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. So don't try to cheat it. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
This is a story about the supernatural.
Shelterwood is the land of dreams. If you want to find something here, you will.
This is a story of disappearances and homecomings.
I know your whole world has been turned upside down, but listen, I was really hoping I could convince you not to go back out there.
Investigating the disappearance of my sister, Sadie DeRosso.
I've never heard of anyone coming back, ever.
Subscribe now to Shelterwood, a suburban gothic, to follow this story.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do?
I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault, a new series streaming now only on Peacock.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
It's more stories. Welcome, everybody. Joe Prano's here.
Excited to be here.
Julian Edelman's here.
Great stash.
Thank you.
He does have a good stash.
He's got a good stash, and you're looking thin.
I've lost 10 pounds since the knee.
Well, from the last time I've seen you, it was probably a couple weeks ago, you're noticeably thinner.
At PT?
Yeah, PT.
I'm back on meth.
Yeah?
I shouldn't even joke like that. Yeah, it's funny. I was wearing his hat from his podcast company, Welcome to the Nut House. And I was wearing his hat, and then he walks into physical therapy, and I was like...
You're like, awkward.
No, it was great.
It was awesome. Word of mouth, baby.
The only thing that lined up better for me than that is I was listening... Twice this happened to me. I was listening to somebody on my headset, and I met them as I was listening to them. One, I was jogging on the beach listening to Jane's Addiction, and the lead, Perry Farrell was jogging past me. And I was like, I. And then I was leaving 24-Hour Fitness listening to the game, and the game was like getting a membership. And I was like,
The game's getting a membership at 24?
You know what? I don't know. Yeah, I guess
I like it.
He's like 6'10".
Is he that tall?
He's
he's a hooper, right?
I guess
I think he was a hooper back in the day.
Yeah.
You played basketball too?
Not very. I played a lot of basketball, but I was always the football player that was playing basketball. I played a lot of AAU when I was like...
You played football?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I played it.
So in college at Kent State, Golden Flashes, respect. I'm looking up your numbers. Touchdowns to interceptions, not good. Like 15, well, I mean, better than I could have. Yeah. 15, it's like 15 TDs, 11 picks.
Yeah.
But then you run for like 1,500 yards.
And probably another 10 touchdowns.
Yeah. Were you, at the time, did you know in college the odds of me being drafted as a quarterback are slim to none?
Zero.
No,
I didn't think it was zero. But I knew if I was going to try to...
Hold on a second. Is that killing us? No. Okay, sorry. We got a fucking leaf blower outside.
They had an electric one that was silent.
Call ice.
Does anyone got any? I'll take a cube. Back to Kent, I knew I wasn't going to play quarterback in the NFL. But I did have British Columbia, they bought my negotiation rights to play quarterback in the CFL. But if I wanted to play in the NFL, I knew I was going to have to change positions.
Did you do that at Kent State?
No. I did it as soon as I got to give a shout out to my college coach, Doug Martin. I think he's at Elon right now.
Muscle Hamster?
Who's that? No. What do you mean? Not the Doug Martin that just died either. There's a Doug
Muscle
Martin.
Hamster.
Yeah.
That's his best nickname ever.
Nah, it wasn't him. It was Doug Martin he was a Kentucky quarterback back in the day, and he was my head coach at Kent. And like the last 3 games of the season, he knew I was, I wanted to go try to play in the next level, so he let me return a punt in front of a college scout or a pro scout, and I didn't do anything. I just caught 1 punt. Didn't know how to catch punts, just went back there. And the scouts would come to practices. They were trying to look at Augustus Parrish. He was a tackle we had he had a lot of heat going for potentially getting drafted. And so I would catch punts around the NFL scouts at practice. But I was playing quarterback, and I knew I was going to have to change positions if I wanted to go to the NFL.
What's better, receiving a touchdown or returning a touchdown?
A return is I think returning a touchdown for a punt return it's because it's
chaos.
It's chaos, but there's always a great block by a teammate. There's always, everyone has to do their job for you to get going. You know what I mean? It's the ultimate team play. You don't just, you can house a punt by making 3 guys miss here and there, but there's always one block, like a Brandon Bolden block or a Dane Fletcher block, or a Patrick Chung block that springs you and then you got to go do what you do. But the punt return, it's just it's sudden change. It changes the momentum of a game.
Yeah.
So does, receiving a touchdown, but
that's called in the huddle.
That's called in the huddle.
That's called upstairs, put to the sideline. It goes into Tom Brady's helmet. He tells the play. He's got to check down. He's got an A, B, and a C.
Yeah.
And it's okay, this is what's supposed to happen.
Somewhat.
Whereas in a punt
is
fucking chaos.
It's controlled chaos. That's what Scotty O'Brien used to say, our special teams coach. He goes, this is just a play of controlled chaos.
Did you essentially learn to return punts in the NFL?
In the NFL.
That's got to be pretty scary.
It was pretty scary. And you know what? I was never scared because I was always very confident in making a guy miss that was coming full speed because my superpower was explosiveness and quickness.
And being 5'5".
And 5'2". But when a guy's coming down full speed, I was never uncomfortable because he can't change his direction on a stop of a dime. So all you got to do is make something and he's done. So it was never about that. Now, you do get a little hairy when that's why you're always, when you talk a punter, you're talking about his hang time and his distance. And so you have a punt return quarterback clock in your head determined on how high that punt is, how long it's hanging in the air, and how far it is. You can kind of tell where the wave's going to come or when the wave's going to be there. So you can anticipate if it's a low hang time punt and it's not crazy far and he kind of line drives it, you're going to have time. But if it's a high punt kind of short, you can anticipate that there's going to be a guy right in your face. And you got to be able to multitask. So when you're about to catch that punt, you do peek down a little, but then you get your eyes back up. And if you ever get if you're ever feeling hairy with the catch, I always just, if the higher you put your hands up, the less you had the basket. When you keep them down here, your elbows are out so the ball can come in. So if I ever got nervous, I would just get my hands real high, and then you gotta go.
When you fair catch a punt, the guy will run up to your face.
I would always try to fair catch late and then run into him because that's a 15-yard penalty if he ever touches you.
What do they yell to you? You always see them jawing at you after you fair catch a punt. They always go face mask to face mask. What type of things?
They didn't do that. Early in my career, they would do that. But
white bitch.
Nah, it was. They didn't. You know what? There must have been a scouting report on me because a lot of guys later in my career wouldn't talk crap because I would talk crap if they talk crap, and that turned me on. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of guys. There was a couple times early in my career.
Yeah.
But
I
was called a kike a couple times.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I was called a kike by this guy
NFL.
on Cleveland. I won't tell him anyone's name, but I didn't even care because
that's really other level.
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, you kike ass bitch," or something like that. It was
Oh my God. What a perfect segue to our Substack subscribers. Thank you, Bruce Harris, Darius Russell, Warren Bartosik, Greg Lemhouse. What's up, Greg? And Melodic Method.
Melodic Method. Yeah.
MELODIC. Thank you guys for subscribing to Substack. They bring you that podcast. So you got podcast Games with Names that I was on, my wife was on. It was one of the best times I ever had in my life.
It's fun. It's a fun podcast, and we've been doing it now for 3 years, I think, maybe even 4. We got probably 150 episodes in the bank.
Then you got the other one with Gronk.
Dudes on Dudes.
Dudes on Dudes. Was there not a second where you guys could have thought about that title?
No, I think that's...
You just said it, and
everyone talks about it and has that thought, and it makes them talk about it. So
Dudes on Dudes.
Yeah, and nothing like a little gay
a porn
humor.
search, yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes people like, what's going on? Are these guys gay? So then they're already talking about it.
What's the hardest you've ever been hit on a football field? Hey!
Hardest?
You fucking jerks. Ellie! What's the hardest you've been hit on a football field?
That I remember?
Oh.
I was hit pretty hard. My rookie year, we went to... 2009. We went to Denver and we played Denver Broncos, and that's when Brian Dawkins was on the team.
Oh.
And being a young football player, a young receiver, it was a third down, and I think it was a zone, and we had a man beater. We had crossers. And, being a young football player, I ran through the zone. And if you run through the zone and if you continue your man route on a zone, that's when you usually see the big plays, the big hits. So he came down, he had the flat zone, and he hit me pretty hard. And I had I saw a floater for probably like 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Like a star. Yeah, and I was learning how to catch with it. And I was young at the time, so I didn't want to tell them because I needed to play to A, make your money, and B, get some reps and try to.
So definitely a concussion?
Probably. And then I got hit another time on Thanksgiving against your Jets. Remember Levon Landry?
No.
Levon Landry was a huge safety.
On the Jets?
On the Jets.
Levon Landry.
Yeah.
Give me some Jim Leonard news.
He was huge. Jimmy Leonard was on the team too, I think.
Black gloves, like he was going to crack a safe.
They also had Eric.
Awesome.
Eric, who's there? Was it another one? Eric
Frost?
No, he's another white safety. They had 2 white safeties.
Yeah.
But this wasn't one of those white safeties. This was Levon Landry, and it was. I was kind of balling that game. I had like a 45-yard touchdown from Tom, and then I had that one where remember McKnight fumbled in midair, and USC RIP. McCourty hit him on a kickoff. I just scored. McCourty hit him on a kickoff, or it could have been right after the butt fumble. This was butt fumble game.
All right.
And then McCourty lays him out. Ball pops up in the air, and I catch it. And I go run it in on a kickoff for a touchdown. So they were kicking it off, and we scored.
It's the most Jets thing I've ever heard.
It was right after the butt fumble. It was like the craziest,
the second,
like
30,
90-second span of football. And then I was feeling myself, and there was an F reverse right, and I got the reverse. And the number one rule you can't do when you're going sideline to sideline, you don't really want to cut back into the pursuit because you can't always see. You want to try to skinny the guy up and stay to the sideline, because when you go back in, that's where all the big bodies are, and that's where all the guys that are coming full speed that you may not be able to see. And I cut back, feeling myself having 2 touchdowns, disrespecting the game. The football god slapped me down. This guy just hit me, and it was like Control, Delete, Reset.
Well, so I'm friends with Wayne Corbett. I break your balls all the time.
Yeah.
But he's just one of the only football guys I know.
Yeah.
He said he was in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, and there was an interception, and he just kind of like relaxed his body a little bit. And Brian Jordan hit him so hard, he woke up on the bench sitting there, and they asked him, "Do you know where you are?" And he said, "Willowbrook Mall." And he wanted to know, when did they put the dome in the Willowbrook Mall? It's like, when they put this in.
That was a different time. He probably went in afterwards.
Yeah.
You probably went in the game. So that was like, if you got hit. So the spotter rule, you know the spotter rule in the NFL?
No.
The spotter rule is whenever someone gets hit, there's an independent neurologist.
Oh, yeah.
That's looking to see if a guy's staggered.
Throwing up gang signs from his back.
Or if someone takes
Yeah.
exactly the fencing. If they see that, they'll pull you. Now, that rule came in place because the Cam Chancellor hit I took in the Super Bowl, where he hit me and I fell down and I got up running and then I staggered down and everyone thought I had a concussion, which that wasn't the case. I had a hip pointer. But it was on such a big stage where people were like, oh, what is this guy knocked out? That they implicated or put in the spotter rule. So that now wouldn't happen with Corbett, because if he was staggered, and now they have a series of questions, if when you get spotted out, they'll ask you what time it is, where are we, this, that, and they bring in that blue tent. So like the league's made huge strides on trying to.
But then don't you think they overdo it? Like the new kickoffs are so stupid.
What? I think they're elite.
Really?
Convince me.
Convince me. Because to me, it looks like
75% more returns. Guys,
I don't think I've seen a return this year.
What?
The guys are standing up like when you put your army men on the kitchen table and they just stare at each other waiting for the ball to fall
I think
down.
it is an electric play. You're getting way more returns. There's a strategy with the kickers now, if you watch.
Yeah.
If they don't get it in the land zone, the team gets it out to the 40.
Yeah.
A lot of these times these kickers are kicking it out of bounds, you get it to the 40, that's first down and that's points. You know what I mean? You get one first down, you're basically in field goal range for all these fucking
30
kickers.
yards to field goal, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And then if you hit it into the end zone, they go to the 35. So if you're incentivized as the kicking team to put it in the kick zone, but if you bounce it in the kick zone and it goes into and they touch back, they only get it to the 20. So there's a lot of like strategy on this play, and there's more house calls. And some of the hits are fucking crazy. You're seeing a guy hitting full speed.
Are they 10 yards apart when they?
Yeah, but it's not that one. It's the hit when the guy's got the returner has a freaking 20-yard cushion before he's even seen anyone. So he's going full speed, and just like on that Cam Chance or the Levon Landry hit, you put your foot in the ground one time, try to get through the wave. There could be a guy that you don't see that blows you up. There's been some crazy hits on it. I think it's entertaining.
All right, I'll watch with a different.
Watch it. Watch it.
All right. So you played with. I got to ask you about Aaron Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy gets like convicted of murder. Did you? And apparently it comes out after the fact. Like that was kind of how he rolled his whole life. Did you? When you guys were in the locker room at the Patriots, did you get a vibe like, "Oof, this guy's kind of bad news"?
You know what? You almost got like the wankster vibe. You know, like he was fake with it.
Like Tupac.
Nah, I don't know Tupac, or I don't know if he was.
I happen to be reading the biography right now in preparation for Jeff Pearlman coming in.
Yes, but
like he was a fake tough guy.
He just talked a lot of crap.
Well, he obviously backed it up,
and he backed it up. And the thing I'll give you, I'll tell you about Aaron.
Sorry,
this guy he worked his balls off.
Yeah, he would have been a Hall of Fame tight end. Probably.
He could have been he could have been a Hall of Fame tight end. But like I'm talking at practice, he always knew the playbook inside and out. This guy was obsessive with it. At practice, he would practice his balls off. He'd practice super hard. He was a superstar tight end at the time, and then he'd go take special teams reps. And like he loved to practice. He was clearly hiding something, but he would talk crap and he would be an asshole to people. But we all just thought, all right, it's just him being him. You know what I mean? No one really thought he was really about that life.
So apparently he was really about.
He was really about the life.
Were you surprised when it hits the papers? What's your immediate first reaction? Is what?
You know, I felt bad. You know,
did you think probably or no way?
Probably. Who knows? It's crazy. You know, I mean, I didn't know. I was more in shock.
Yeah.
And I was more like, you kind of, I feel bad for everyone in the situation. Just lives are ruined on both sides. Family members are ruined.
How is that addressed team-wise, like in the locker room, in the meeting rooms? Does Belichick come out and go, listen,
this is just like, we're on to Buffalo.
We're just on to Cincinnati.
He basically said, look, there's an ongoing investigation. Anything you say can be held against you. So just remember that when you're talking to media or you're talking to anyone, there's an ongoing investigation. So like, just remember that. We were informed about that. We had great leadership on the team, though. You had Tom Brady there. So like, it's crazy how we were able to like move on from it and like not even think about it.
So let's stick with scandals. So Tom Brady and Deflategate, to me, and I'm a Jets fan, this was the single stupidest railroad. There's something else at play. A guy getting the best player in the history of the game getting suspended for adding an ounce and a half of air to a football or taking one out so he can grip it the way he likes to grip it. To me, it's unfathomably stupid, and there's something else happening. So I'm going to say I think they're inflating the balls more now. I think the league is inflating the balls because if you watch football this year, there's like 6 fumbles every game, and the kickers are bombing 70-yarders like it's nothing.
Well, what's the question? I got a couple takes on
Go ahead.
Well, the kickers are bombing them more or further now because there's a new rule that got passed for the kicking ball. You used to only get a kicking ball for an hour before the game to try to break in. They would give you brand new footballs. The equipment guys would go and try to beat up the balls and do the fucking leather conditioners on them, and you rub them. And
that's not illegal.
That's not illegal.
What the fuck are we talking about?
So, but
Tommy touchdown.
Now the kickers they can use the same balls all year. And those guys want fucking beat up leather, fat, inflated balls because there's more surface area and you can kick it further. When you got one of these brand new fucking leather balls, they're hard. They don't, it hurts them. It doesn't fly as far. So like, that's why we're seeing such crazier kicks from crazier distances because these balls are all broken in. What's the other question?
So I didn't really ask one. I wanted your opinion on what I thought was a conspiracy to overinflate balls to kick farther field
and then
goals,
fumbles,
which would result in way more fumbles because the ball's harder to hold on to.
No, that's the fumbles are happening now.
Say no, you're an idiot. Say that to me.
No, it's not.
Say no, you're an idiot for the clip.
No, you're an idiot.
Okay.
But
let me ask you this before you continue on that. So I'm a kicker. I kick a 53-yarder, and I'm like, oh, that's the ball. So now am I responsible? I have to make sure I go get that ball so I can use it next week?
No, there's a ball boy that
and you have to communicate to the ball boys, listen.
They have probably 6 to 10 kicking balls.
And they're marked, right?
And they're marked.
What are they marked with?
The K ball.
Is it a marker?
There's an actual K on the football. Like,
and why is the kicking ball different from the football?
Because the quarterback ball is different. They don't want him.
So how is Tom Brady suspended? If you have different balls for different parts of the game, how long was he suspended? 4
games.
That's
a fourth of his salary.
That's idiot. I agree.
Did he ever financially recover from that?
You know what? It's
Joe.
I don't know.
Like, I'm a Jets fan, and I think this is completely idiotic.
Yeah.
Was there something else at work? Did we need to sit Tom Brady down because he was like a big cheater elsewhere?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And
you were suspended 4 games.
Yeah.
For PEDs.
Yeah.
Okay. How often do they test for PEDs? Do you know
all year round?
And do you know the test is coming?
You do not.
You don't get a tip off.
No.
So when you are taking, what was it? Steroids?
Nah, it was kind of like a growth hormone for
Viagra. That's a growth hormone, right?
It was. I tore my ACL and I was trying to come back from that.
Well, I could take it for my ACL.
It helps with your tendons.
Oh fuck yeah! So you get.
You still have any laying around? You got the rest of the bottle?
No.
I smoke that shit. So you get popped for PEDs. How are you? Do you know when you're taking something that's banned by the league? Are you?
I thought I was taking something else than that I was taking.
I mean, that's what we hear all the time as fans.
It's the truth, though,
and we roll our eyes like, sure, you didn't know.
No, because there's like a grace period when guys are hurt that you think you're not getting tested, but you still get tested. So it's just one of those things where,
Was it worth it? Did you come back quicker?
No, I honestly, I mean, I probably needed not to play 16 games that year because I needed the time to recover.
Yeah.
So it probably helped to not play the first 4 because of the loadage on my knee and my body.
Loadage. Are we still talking about dudes on dudes?
No, but everyone hates that word loadage, but it's like it's a term they use in sports science because that's what that's what all these guys are tracking now, how much they're putting on their body, the load that they're putting on their body through running, weightlifting, acceleration. They have all those quantified numbers that, you got a bunch of scientists and nerds in the back that are just calculating all right, this guy's up.
Them.
Yeah, thank God.
You're drafted, your first season, 2009. You do good. You're in the rotation, like you're in the mix, like Belichick. 2010, for some reason, just not used. I think through 15 games, you had like 4 catches.
Yeah, and then same with my next year.
What? That's got to really weigh on you.
Yeah.
Did you think you did something wrong? Were you dropping passes? No, you were never a drop pass guy.
I think it was. So I got a lot of reps.
Is Bill Belichick an anti-Semite?
Could be. But
just moving on to Bethlehem.
With my rookie year, Wes got hurt.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was getting a lot of run. And when he went out, like he didn't play week 2. I had like 9 catches against the Jets my first start.
Right.
And then he came back, and then I got folded. And I mean, you weren't going to have 2 slots on the field at that time. And then he tore his ACL, on week 17. And so like he was kind of battling injuries that year. And whenever he wasn't playing, I was collecting the reps, and I was in the spots that were getting targeted. So I had some production going into my second year. Wes was healthy the whole year, and he was balling out. And then I was, going on the special teams route, and going to my third year, still kind of the same thing. And I wasn't necessarily doing bad in practice. It's just there's only 3 spots on the field for receivers, and then by year 2 we get Gronk and Hernandez. So then we change our offense to
22?
From a 12 personnel,
12.
Which is 2 tight end, 2 receiver,
yeah.
And you're gonna have Wes and Randy or Wes and Dion. You're not gonna have Wes and me unless there's some kind of
pre-Randy. It's Dion Branch,
pre-Randy,
Welker.
What do you mean pre-Dion? You mean pre-Randy?
I said pre-Dion?
Yeah.
Pre-Randy, it's
pre-Dion. No, pre-Dion, it was, when I first got there, it was Joey Galloway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Greg Lewis, Sam Aiken, who was more of he was our special teams captain, Randy, Wes, and me. So there's 6 guys on the team for receiver.
Is Randy Moss the greatest wide receiver of all time? Numbers be damned, because I know Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice. But if you throw the numbers out the window, I don't know, I think everybody would rather cover Jerry Rice than Randy Moss, right?
That's tough. Jerry was so productive for so long. To get open when you're 40 years old.
Yeah, but he had Joe Montana. Randy Moss had a bum like Tom Brady throwing him the ball.
Right. Athletically, I think Randy's like the first, like, basketball player, track fast guy, freaking elite.
Do you think he was the first, like, 50-50 ball guy? Like, he's down there somewhere.
I don't want to go recency bias because I'm not a deep in the laces kind of guy in like the 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, Lynn Swann was doing a lot of this, but Randy was like the first guy that just looked different.
And what was his nickname for you?
He called me Edelnut.
Edelnut.
Yeah, Edelnut.
Dude, tell me a Randy Moss story.
Randy, he was the funniest. Every day he would come up to me, and his way of kind of like saying hi and letting me be a part of his aura would be, he would just be like, hey, Edelnut, 98 first round, get to know me. 98 was the year he was drafted. He was drafted in the first round. And then he would just walk away. Or, we would be on a Friday practice, and a star with every day a star is born. That Jay-Z song would come on. It was his mix. And he would sit there and he'd look at me and he goes, Edelnut, this song was on when I was born. He would say shit like that. And he would talk 60 minutes every Friday or Saturday practice or Saturday walkthrough kind of travel day. It's a real big mental day. So you'd go over your plan and you'd watch a lot of film on your opponent, like individually, like the DBs. So we'd have like a 30-play cut up of, all right, this guy likes his offhand jam. We'd sit individually with your position groups a lot. And for like the first 15 minutes of every Saturday, it'd be Randy explaining what happened on either 60 Minutes or 20, one of those crazy like crime-ridden stories. Dateline.
Yeah.
And he would sit there, he'd give us a synopsis on it every Saturday. The coach is sitting there, and he was a rookie coach too, Chad O'Shea. And he couldn't say anything to Randy because Randy were in the room. It was his room. And so he'd sit there, we'd be 25 minutes in, he goes, hey, Randy, you think we can get on to, watching our opponents? Hey, Chatty-O, just shut up, man. We got this, man. Like, you know what I mean? Not like a asshole way, but like a Randy way where he had to let you know he was the alpha of the room.
98 first round. Look it up.
Get to know me.
Get
to know me.
When you say those mental days, is that why the Patriots were so hard to beat? Did you think you guys out-mentaled other teams? Because it seems like Belichick was crazy about studying like where a guy puts his foot, his body language, how he's going to hit, all the tells.
You know what? You want to say that, but I don't know. And
you only played for one team.
I only played for one coach, one team. But you know what? There's a lot of money on the line, and there's a lot like people's lives change over winning and losing, and there's a lot of great coaches, and there's a lot of guys that work their fucking nuts off. Like look at Andy Reid's and the Spagnuolos, and so it's hard to say that we did it the most or that because I don't know how other teams do it, and there's other teams that are great. You know what I mean? So, but we always felt we were prepared mentally more than we felt like we had a shot to win every game.
Was there a time when you were studying film with Belichick, he would tell you at this time in this game with this play, this will happen, and that actually happened where you thought he was like a witch?
There's a lot of that kind of stuff. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. I remember once we weren't doing very well on our kickoff returns, and our special, like, so you have team meeting, and after team meeting, you have like a 20-minute or like a 15, 20-minute special teams meeting before you go into offense and defense. So then you can pull from both the offense and defense. Those guys get to meet, and then other guys, they're doing some prehab or something before their other meeting. But Bill stayed in. We were struggling on the scheme, and he stayed in while the special teams coordinator was about to install what we were going to do for the week. And one of the craziest things was, he said, no, fuck that. Everyone stay in here. And he went player for player on the kickoff and the kickoff return team on what they were going to do. And he installed the play that week, and we housed a kick that week. He's like, this is what you're going to do. These guys are vulnerable on this. You're going to come over here. You got MDM. He went out, and he explained to every single guy and installed a play that, we went out and ended up housing a kick that week, which, he did that a lot, where he said, the game's going to come down to this. This guy is going to have 3 to 5 throws where he's going to give us an opportunity. If we don't give up a big play, we get a pick right here, we capitalize on that pick and get a touchdown, we're going to win the game. And something like that would happen.
Yeah. It seems like Belichick was a genius at that, like predicting or just finding out, like you said, 2 or 3 plays, 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah.
And the game of football, even though it's an hour, does it really just come down to 3 or 4 plays?
No, it doesn't. But it comes down to a collection of those plays. But one of your plays could be in that collection of plays that your team needs to win. You understand?
Yeah, it sounds like you're agreeing with me, but you framed it like disagreeing.
No, but maybe. Well, it comes down to 2 or 3 plays, but you still need your 45 other regular plays.
You don't want to slapdick it through the other. I get it.
You know what I mean?
What was your pregame listen? What would you listen to pregame to get hyped up?
Early in my career, I was very, I would listen to a lot of Bay rap.
Too Short?
Too Short, Mac Dre, Andre Nicotina.
Yeah.
I like some of the West Coast rap, the Snoop, the Dre, the Eminem when he was hot. Eminem, every white skill position player loved Eminem. And then as I got older, I kind of changed. I listened to movie music. I used to listen to Hans Zimmer soundtracks of Inception, Interstellar, because I didn't want to get too pumped up.
Yeah.
I wanted to visualize my game plan. So it was more, I didn't want to listen to lyrics because my ADD would kick in and I would start singing the lyrics when I needed to be thinking about other shit.
Where did that come in? Had you always been a guy that visualized what was going to happen in front of you? Where in your career did you work that into your routine? And what was its results?
I would say the more responsibility I got, the less rah-rah shit I was doing aloud.
Yeah.
Out loud. I still had the rah-rah shit, but in my time by myself, which you have a lot of time to yourself before a game where you create your own routine to get yourself ready. I would say year 3, 4, 5, when I started playing a lot more receiver and I had a lot more to think about. And I was thinking more about the game plan instead of, my special team play where I'm thinking about my kickoff, my punt return. There's 15, 20 plays of that. Now when I was featured and I finally got a spot at being a receiver on the team and doing special teams, I couldn't use my brain power like that where I could sit there and rattle off a fucking rap song and get all juiced up that way. I had to think about what I was doing. So
is there times in your career, they say the game just slowed down for me, or Jordan says the rim just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Was there times in your career where the game slowed down for you, where you entered that flow state and you were just in a different dimension of
playoffs?
Yeah.
Always.
Do guys get the yips? Do they get anxious? And then you feel like there's a fork in the road. This is where either I get anxious and I can be overwhelmed, because I get this with stand-up and acting, sitting across from Tom Cruise and the Jerry Maguire audition. Oh, this is where most guys shit their pants. I'm going to dial it back. This is what's going to separate me. Is it like that?
I used to get real anxious in a week 9 game when you're playing against fucking Chicago Bears that have 1 win. We're rattling up. We're fucking 9-2 or 8-1. And it's a 1 o'clock game.
You impressed? They were so good. They were 9-2 in week 9.
I know. That's some Patriot shit right
That's
there.
how good they were.
Yeah.
I think we went 9-0, 10-0 a couple times in my career.
No, I'm just breaking your. You said week 9, then you said you were 9-2.
Whatever.
That's how good the Patriots were, Julian.
Exactly. We were 1 game over.
Why do you think you got anxious like that? Fear of injury?
Fear of standard.
Huh.
You got to get up for this. When you do it for a long time, those are the harder games for me. It's because your mind can wander off a little.
Yeah.
You're in it, but your body's banged up. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Those are the hardest games for me. That's when I would sit there and pregame, you're walking out and you get so nervous because you want to go out and you want to play well because there's a standard that you've been playing at, but there's not a lot on the line for this game.
I get
for
that.
us, but but every week you're getting every team's best. When it was fucking playoff time or if it was seeding game time, I was so focused on naturally. My focus, I would always lean on my preparation. I was do more in my prep, and I don't know if I answered your question, but
no, you did. And do you, in the playoffs, can you remember a place you played where it was almost like Thunderdome? You couldn't believe how intense, how loud, how rabid, how crazy it was. Like even a veteran maybe at the time, whatever amount of time into your career or stepping out onto the field, you thought, this is crazy.
The Super Bowls are all pretty crazy just as far as excitement and how you feel individually with the feeling of the aura.
Yeah.
Seeing fucking Michael Irvin on the sideline, seeing, fucking superstars pregame and all that stuff. And a lot of the times in my career, I'm not trying to flex here, but we played at home my whole career in the playoffs, except 3 times where, twice we lost in Denver, and those places get rocking, but it was different. I would say that Kansas City Chiefs game in 2018, that place was rocking. That place, you could feel the energy. They were a young, sexy team. We were the old team that everyone was sick of seeing. We were at their house. There was the blood moon thing that was going on that night. That place gets rocking loud.
Arrowhead
gets loud. For an outdoor stadium, it's a really loud spot.
What was your favorite place on the road to play?
I loved playing in New York.
Yeah.
Just because I really loved the New York-Boston thing. Like, I wasn't born into it. I was born in more L.A., San Fran.
You're a Northern California guy.
Yeah.
Redwood
City.
Redwood City, yeah.
But we were kind of like the diet version of Boston and New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the people around the community would get so fired up for anytime you play a New York team. Like, there's a real hatred of the New York teams in Boston. And I loved...
You owned us. You absolutely owned us.
We had some good times. But I also loved when we would go... there's something about when you would drive in New Jersey to the stadium on whatever that highway is.
Just in the Sopranos opening all of a sudden.
Yeah. And you're looking to the right and you see you see New York, Manhattan.
Yeah, you have a nice skyline and the stadium's on your left.
And I didn't see all this stuff growing. This was like some of the first times I saw this. And then you see MetLife, and I played at the old Giant Stadium, and, over on the left, and you go in there. There's just something about playing in New York that...
Even though you're playing in New Jersey.
Even though you're playing in New Jersey.
I got you, though. When you meet Tom Brady for the first time, where was that?
Locker room.
Tell me.
I was going to a special teams meeting with my big-ass binder. I had like a...
Mike Binder meeting.
What? Mike Binder. Now everything's on iPad. All your playbook, this, that. It used to be you had the 3-ring 4-incher, and that's where everything was.
Your whole life.
Your whole life, like installation of the rules, installation for special teams, your installation for the offense. And so I'm walking around like a chicken with my head cut off, not knowing anything. I'm a fucking 22-year-old kid. I'm terrified, thinking I'm getting cut every second I'm there.
Well, it's a 7th-round pick. That's a fair
7th-round pick.
That's a
There's
fair
100
feeling.
guys in the locker room. They're only cutting it down to 53. This is the first day the vets come in, so we've already been there for probably a couple weeks with rookie camps. And so, like, the intensity, like, after your first day at rookie camp, then you start to get comfortable with the guys you're around. And so you kind of create something. But once the vets come and the guys that have already won there come, like, that's the intensity raises. So, like, I'm just trying not to be late for my meetings. I'm running, and he's coming into the locker room, and I'm leaving to try to go to, the special team meeting. And I'm running. I look up. I'm like, whoa. I drop my binder, and he goes, "Hey, Jules," "Hey, Julian, I'm Tom," and he knew my name. And I was like, hey, Tom, hey, Mr. Brady. How you doing? He's like, "You don't have to call me Mr. Brady."
You called him Mr. Brady.
Yeah, or something.
Shut up.
Yeah. And we have the same agents, so there was kind of something there. But, I was like, man, he's so fucking tall and cool. Like, it was my first time. I was being Tom Brady on the asphalts in 8th grade at recess, because he was a Bay Area guy. I always loved him because he was like he went the long road. His story was always cool. There was always Peyton Manning and there was Tom Brady. And Peyton was the guy that was the stud, first pick overall, Tennessee records. And then Tom was always gnawing and scratching. And he was from the Bay.
A lot like you.
And a lot like me. So I always loved Brady. And then I got to meet him and I was like, fucking, oh shit. Dropped my binder.
Anybody ever fart in the huddle?
Not that I can remember.
What's the dumbest thing or funniest thing you ever heard in a huddle that wasn't the play?
The dumbest. We were playing in Cincinnati, and there was a torrential downpour, and I was sitting there, and they just scored, and it just started pouring, and I'm talking like a fucking hurricane. It was just like, what the fuck? And we needed 4 points to win the game, so we couldn't kick a field goal, and we needed to go on a 2-minute drive. And I'm sitting there before the huddle, and I'm looking at Amendola. I'm looking at whoever's got a dry towel, because it was raining so hard, even the towels were soaked. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, Dola, you got a fucking towel? He goes, Jules, look outside. There's no fucking towels. He looks at me, I'm like, all right, there's no towels.
Was he like mad at you for even asking?
He's like, there's no fucking
Where were you when the Patriots beat the Rams in that Super Bowl? I was in the building in New Orleans. They were 18.5-point underdogs, and U2 played at halftime. And then I believe it was Ty Law took one to the house right before halftime, and it went, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in Redwood City.
You weren't a Patriots fan? You're probably a Niners fan?
I was a Niners fan, but we were, everyone knew Tom Brady because he was from 10 minutes from my house. We grew up like that close, San Mateo, Redwood City. So like we were all kind of watching them. And at that time, the Patriots, because of 9/11, everyone was kind of like.
It was intense.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh, this is for America. The Patriots are going to beat the greatest show on turf. I think we were probably at my house. My parents always had like Super Bowl parties.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like potluck, you know what I mean?
I'm there with my dad. I was doing NFL this morning on Fox Sports, and my dad it was a great weekend. Like my dad got to meet Deacon Jones and Marv Levy, and everybody thought my dad was like a Secret Service man, khaki pants, blue blazer. And then my dad doesn't give a shit about you two. And the only time I've ever seen my father cry was they had these big silks that went up on either side of the stage, and they listed the names of the victims alphabetically. And U2 did Where the Streets Have No Name, and then they were done. My dad looked at me, and he had tears streaming. I'm getting choked up. He had tears streaming down his face, and he goes, they only got to the L's. Like alphabetically. There's so many deaths, they only got to the L's. And it shook my dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. And then football in the second half seemed ridiculously dumb.
Yeah.
But then the Patriots, that's how impressive that win was. You had to follow, they had to follow U2 making Jay Mohr's dad cry. Like imagine everybody else, like U2 fans, I was gone.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. And Belichick, again, it's one of those things. I don't know any coach that, like, okay, they're going to give us the middle of the field. So we're just going to throw to that drunk Jermaine Wiggins over and over and over.
Jermaine.
East Boston.
I love Jermaine.
He's the best.
He's on all the radio. I see him every time I go back at some event. Wiggy.
In 2014, you signed your first big contract, like 7 a year.
Yeah.
So there's no longer, quote unquote, under the radar. So how is it balancing finally feeling validated? Like, okay, I'm here, to no longer having the cover of being like the underdog story.
Yeah.
Was that a new identity you had to try on?
No, now it went from I'm going to prove the team wrong, that I'm a player, to I need to prove the team right for paying me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, these guys believed in me. I want to give everything. I want to bring a Super Bowl and do everything I can to help them get a Super Bowl, because there's been a drought. Everyone was talking about it, the 10-year drought. Could this team do it?
10 years.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so it was more of now you work to prove everyone who believed in you to pay you.
I got to think that the second one, I have to prove the team right, is a lot more angst compared to I'm going to prove everybody wrong. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. There's a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And there's like a guttural, like a fever to it. Whereas everybody, like, which one was it harder the second way?
I was at a different point in my career where athletically and mentally they were at a place where the game was slowing down. So I wasn't thinking, I was thinking like, all right, I'm going to do everything to make them right. But it was more of, how do I make myself the best?
Do you miss that underdog narrative? Like every day just being Rudy?
I guess. I mean,
you're smiling right now thinking about it.
I just miss competing.
Yeah,
that's more than anything.
That's a question I have. What's the biggest? What's been the hardest transition going from world-class athlete to civilian?
Not doing world-class athlete things.
Yeah, pickleball doesn't really cut it.
No, it's just like
competitive chess.
No, I'll go out and kick the soccer ball with my kid, and like she'll kick something and it'll go. And I'll try to go get it, and I'm like, oh man, that was kind of hard, and my hamstring hurts. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, my knees hurt after just dicking around.
Yeah,
with my kid. Or
is there a sadness that people don't talk about attached to that? And like when you go from doing it all the time to suddenly it's not your life anymore.
There can be a sadness, but I try to deal with it differently, where I keep myself busy with the things that I'm doing now, or that, like anything, the more busy you are, the less you have to think about those types of things. Because if when you have alone time and you're by yourself and you have nothing going on, that's when you start thinking about that.
You think that's why guys get involved with drugs and
1,000%.
Yeah,
you don't have a plan. It's tough for a person. You really do get institutionalized to the routine that what you've been doing since you were probably, for me, 8 years old. Get up, go to school, play sport, come home, repeat. Get up, go to school, go to sport, go to sleep, repeat. That's been something all these men have been doing, and women who've been professional athletes since they were kids. Now the school gets changed with work school, which you're just football school because you're sitting in fucking meetings for 5 hours a day, installing shit, going over tendencies of the team, all the keys to the game. Like you have a school kind of thing. Then you go to practice field. Then you come back. It's the same thing. So once you get out of that routine and guys don't have a plan, it's tough for a guy to re-associate with real life.
Do you guys, I always hear that expression, check on your teammate for mental health.
Yeah.
Do you have guys that just reach out to you, just see how you're doing? Patriots, are you guys close?
I still have a close group of guys.
You and Gronk obviously are real close.
See, that helps me a bunch that we work together now, because we do get that feel of the locker room together.
Yeah.
We're both dicking around.
Just standing around in towels for no reason.
Literally. We'll sit and go hit the sauna.
Dudes on
before.
Dudes. It's been a while since I've been in a sauna. Invite me over.
You got it.
I'm going to stare at Gronk's crank
plunge,
for
baby.
2 hours.
You played with the guy who's most famous in sports history of not being able to give it up in Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Was that something that, like, going into each year, was it discussed? I mean, you guys are friends. Was it like, bro, you ever going to hang it up? Or you were just hoping
Or you better not hang it up. You better not hang it up.
I was hoping to outlast him.
How close were you to playing with him in Tampa Bay?
Not very close. He called me and said, "Do you want me to try to get you down here?" And I don't,
That's not tampering? Oh, you're retired by then.
I wasn't. No.
Oh shit!
I don't know if that's tampering.
It's tamping.
It's tamping.
It's tampering-y.
It's, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't see him and Gronk laughing their dicks off, scoring TDs, and think, "Oh shit, I could be doing that."
No, I was a Patriot. I wanted to be there.
Wow.
And I was at a point in my career where
now you're the veteran. Now kids are bumping into you saying, "Hi, Mr. Edelman."
That, but also like, do you want to go? My body was starting to break down. I knew the training staff where I was at. I was comfortable with that. And then do you want to have to go learn a whole new offense, rehabitat with other guys when you probably have only a year or two left.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I like where I'm
when
at.
Jews get old, they go to Florida.
They go to Florida.
When Jews get old, they go to Florida.
do.
God damn it, Joe. I wish I
Not
thought
this
of
one.
that.
Not this one.
What was that decision to retire? Is it like 2 years out? It starts floating through your head. When did it start? And what was the, okay, enough's enough. This is it.
Well, in 2019, after we won the Super Bowl, I got banged up a lot. I tore the cartilage in my rib.
Oh.
I had a grade 3 separation in my left shoulder. And then the thing that put me down was I tore the root of my meniscus, like coming off, or not. I didn't do that yet. My knee was starting to break down, so like I randomly came off the ball against the Chiefs, like probably like week 12 or 13, and like my knee caught, and like I broke off a piece of the cartilage, and it got stuck in my kneecap, and it was like fucking hell, and it was a grind to even get back to play that year, and I wasn't the same ever since that. And then going into that off season, it started feeling better. I got it scoped, and then during the training process, my knee broke down again, and another thing broke off, and it was a fucking.
So your body
My body
you.
was pretty. It was that time, like right after that. It was the Chiefs game. We lost the game, and that was kind of the start. But I thought I was going to be cleaned up in the off season. I thought I was going to. I've rehabbed so many things in the off seasons. I've had so many injuries and surgeries, and I've always come back, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to be good. And it never got back. Like something would always happen to the knee, and then I tore the root of my meniscus, which holds the meniscus down, in practice, and it was just a fucking ongoing battle. I mean, that 2020 season, like I couldn't walk like before games, and like I'd have to go walk 2 miles just to keep my knee from not blowing up. Like you had to walk, but you couldn't walk, but you couldn't. There was like such a routine to get my body to go where I was like, man, this is. And I wasn't the same guy on the film. You know, I watched my film and it was fucking ugly, and I looked old, and I couldn't get out of my break. And guys that, you know, in practice that I usually roast were kind of covering me. You know what I mean? Like that. That's when I don't know if it was my ego, but I was like, I don't want to be associated with that. And it just became too hard. So I would say it came quick.
Yeah. And there was no doubt. There was no like, well,
I was going to try one more year, but they said they said after I played with them.
And you were making stupid money then.
Not stupid money.
Was it a 2-year deal?
Yeah, I was making probably like $11 million.
And how weird is that the public knows what you make? Like, that'd be weird if everybody, when I walked down the street, knew how much I made from the Atlantis Casino in Reno last Saturday.
You know, I mean, that's part of it.
If you ever get, like, a waitress go like, oh, that's the only tip I get, Mr. 11 mil?
No, I always tip pretty decent.
There was you and Tom and Gronk. Is there a team that pulled more beautiful women? Is in history?
Don't forget Amendola.
Amendola?
Amendola's a hot little joker.
Yeah. You guys were so top shelf when it came to the chicks.
We had fun.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Games with names. Who made you? I'm not leading you because I want to be the answer. What's the hardest you laughed on Games with Names, your podcast, that everybody should be subscribed to?
Matt Light.
Really?
Matt Light, yeah. It's because I knew the stories, and his storytelling ability is ridiculous, and some of the shit he did is so out of bounds crazy that he explained on the show that I think it's just because I know him.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always, when you have someone that like a celebrity or you know, someone else that's not in the game, I have a lot of anxiety and pressure on trying to get the performance or you know, am I asking the right questions? Is he not bored? Am I not bored? With Matt, it was just flowing.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? and you're comfortable with him. And some of the like, this guy like stole a gargoyle from like our head of security's house and put it in his locker. Like there's just he put a live duck in this guy, Donald, who was one of the linemen. He put a real duck that was in in his locker, and he didn't know there was a duck in his locker for like a day and a half. There literally there was a duck. Like he made a friend think that he had AIDS for like 2 years. There's like just crazy shit.
Make the friend think the friend had AIDS?
He had doctors in on it. He had everything. He had the wife in on it.
Tell me this story.
You got to listen.
Okay.
Games with names.
Malcolm Butler's interception. Were you against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl? Were you on the sideline stunned that they didn't hand off to Marshawn Lynch like we all were?
Yeah, I was.
Is that the
But I kind of wasn't, because all week we practiced that situation for 2-point plays. Because that was basically like a 2-point play. It was on the 2 or something.
Yeah.
And Bill, we like our 2-point play menu on both sides of the ball. Usually always carry like 2, maybe 3 plays for the 2-point play situation. I think we had like 6 that game for us, and the defense was practicing that specific play like 5 times. I remember vividly Josh Boyce torching our defense on that play like 10 times that week in practice. And so was I surprised? Yeah. But then once I watched the play, I was like, that's the fucking play we were getting beat on all week in practice.
I heard Malcolm Butler was in like an IHOP the night before writing that particular play down on a napkin at the IHOP.
Was he?
Do you know, I don't know. Is that true or not?
It could be. It could be.
Does Belichick like wormhole you? Like, does it get in your head? Like, where you always have this, like, I feel like being on the Patriots with Belichick is like being on Saturday Night Live, where you always are not sure of if you're cool. Am I cool? Am I getting fired?
1,000%.
Yeah. So like, I'm going to do everything to just make sure I'm okay with this guy.
Well, that's how you felt.
You do a pretty good Belichick impression. And Jay's an impressionist. I was thinking maybe we could have a scenario. Maybe you as Bill Belichick tell Tracy Morgan how to return a punt.
Yeah. I just stand here and I catch the ball and I run backwards.
All right. Now, Tracy, do you even know how to judge a punt?
I judge everybody.
No.
Only God can judge me, Bill.
Look, like, if it's a right-footed punter.
Yeah.
And the ball turns over, what chest plate are you going to play it on?
Right next to my wheelchair gloves.
Like Bears, are we fucking serious here?
Is that a real thing? Which chest plate you're going to catch the ball on?
Yeah.
Wow. So the old debate.
So if it's a right-footed punter, and you read the ball as a punt returner, does the ball turn over, or does the ball stay, or like stay nose up? The ball turns over with the right-footed punter, it's going to go long and left. So you play it on your right chest plate, so you have a 2-way go and you're square. If you play it on the left, you can olay it. You know what I mean? You can olay it. Now, if the ball doesn't turn over, so it stays up, those punts with the right-footed punter will go short and right. They'll die and right. They'll die and go right. So you play that on your left chest plate. I used to say titty, but I don't know what climate we're in today. So,
speaking of climate, what the hell happened to your pinky? Hold that up for the camera.
Yeah, I broke it a few times.
Looks like Brian Baldinger's.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Hold it up. Let's get that. That's a beauty. How do you pick your nose with that thing?
You can't. My buddy.
Does it hurt?
Nah, it's just not very mobile.
If I straighten it, does it hurt to straighten? Can you straighten it manually? Oh my God, it's horrific.
It just feels tight.
That's what my foot looks like. You ever see my foot?
No.
You're about to barf.
You're about to barf.
Yeah, you got some bunions, Bubs.
Joe said it looks like my toes were running away.
Why?
I had bunion surgery when I was.
You've been putting in. You gotta get a wider shoe, bro.
I had bunion surgery when I was 12, and you're not supposed to cut into a foot that's still growing.
No.
It just didn't work. And people are like, when do you get it operated on? I'm like, a little bit of a mental hiccup there, considering that's why it happened.
Does it affect you?
No.
Yeah,
Belichick or Brady, that age-old.
Yeah.
Who's more? If 51%, 49%, who's more responsible for the dynasty?
There's. It's hard to just say those two because there are so many other people.
If we weren't on camera right now, there's an answer that popped right into your head.
Yeah, but
no,
it was a team thing that needed both. Then there was like countless other guys that it needed.
Yeah, but they're not in this question.
Man, but dude, you can't ask the divorced kid whose parent is his favorite.
That's why I did 51-49.
You can't. It doesn't
49.
work.
Yeah, the thing they always say is like, oh, you can plug somebody into that. Like, do you think you plug Peyton Manning into the Patriots and it's the same amount of Super Bowls, less Super Bowls, more Super Bowls?
I don't know. I mean, we played outdoors.
Now you're being a fucking pussy.
What? We played outdoors. We all know Peyton loved playing indoor.
You're being a corporate pussy right now.
I'm a big Coach fan and I'm a big Brady fan. I mean,
all right, what's going on with Belichick in North Carolina? That seems like a hot mess.
It seems like a hot mess, but they don't look like they have the players.
Yeah. Well, isn't that his job? You know what? I don't want to lead Jen on a road to have to criticize somebody that you played with.
What's your thoughts on the tush push?
Tush push?
It's a good question, Joe.
I'm for it. I mean, there's only one team that could do it well. It's not like it's a guaranteed play for everyone.
I like who was the team they lined up?
Vikings.
The defensive tackle,
Brian
they
Flores,
just put him sideways on all fours, like you're going to push somebody over.
Well, it's not about that. It's about trying to get the offensive line to not get lower than the defensive line. Pad level wins. So if you watch that play, those guys all dive low.
Yeah, that's when you need Troy Polamalu back in the league to jump that fucking line and decapitate.
There's a couple guys that have done it, but because Jalen Hurts is so strong, Jalen Hurts isn't like a walk in the park skinny dude. This guy squats 600 pounds. So there's a lot of force there. He's a strong guy, and he's not like a tall guy. So even if you get him up top, he's got strong lower end that he could get through.
Who talked the most amount of trash that was completely absurd considering they were like, all right, as a player? I asked Aqib Talib this question, and before I got done, he went, Pierre Garçon. I barely got through this question, and he just goes, Pierre Garçon.
I love Aqib.
He's all right, but he talks so much shit. He said, Pierre Garçon. Like, he was like that with it.
Talib is so funny.
He's great.
He's a funny motherfucker. I used to call him Unchain.
Why?
Because at the time, 2 Chainz was so like cool.
Unchain.
And he'd be like, Edelman, you only got one. Because you got the high ass voice. He's like, hey, Jules, you only got one chair. Like, you're Unchain, dog. You're Unchain. We would just sit there because DBs are all in there. We're in our area. So you walk by the block, and just talk shit while laughing. And he was always the funnest to talk shit with.
Who was the hardest guy to get open against?
Revis was pretty good. Revis was probably the best. And it was because he was always on balance. He had a strong lower end, and he was kind of like a hybrid guy where usually you have a tall corner with long arms that
like
sucks
Cromartie.
Going side to side.
Does that be like a Cromartie?
Cromartie.
Yeah, very long.
Very long, or like
very fertile.
Brandon Bolden, or Brandon, not Bolden, Barner, who's on our team. He's locked up.
We'll put it in post. Don't worry about it.
But the long, like usually the Seattle corners, they were always long guys. They play those, those matched zones, which play like man, but they're really a zone. Revis was like a hybrid. He had real long arms, a real like strong offhand jam, but he had like shorter legs, but he was still 6 foot. So he was always on balance, and he was very patient at the line of scrimmage. And so when a guy is always on balance, you can't really bop them off and turn their hips. When you turn the defensive back's hips, you win the route. Because if he opens his hips this way, then you can get in and go. You know what I mean? He was always really good at that. But the thing that separated him was his knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
He knew conceptually what was going on in each situation. So, like, if it was a 1st and 10, he had, like, a chart in his head that in this formation, this guy runs 3 routes, and he knows the drop points of those routes. There's a 9-yard stop. There's a 14-yard comeback, 14-yard in cut. There's a 20-yard comeback, 20-yard post. So he knew those stops, and so he could run the route with you. He was really good at man on man because a lot of
Who was the grabbiest? Who held you the most? We're like, this fucking guy.
Jimmy Smith.
Really?
From Baltimore.
Yeah.
He was we used to battle a lot. We'd play each other like twice a year, and he was a long guy, but he also had really good feet. He used to grab. He was always good. The great ones know how to grab.
Yeah.
And they grab at the right time.
Yeah, I'd be a grabby motherfucker if I was out there.
You mentioned Baltimore. Obviously, one of the big plays in your career is the playoff pass.
The double pass.
Double pass, yeah. What did you guys practice that all week? Was that something you guys knew was
we had that all year. So we actually had that play all year, and we needed a certain look to get the play called. We called it against.
What do you mean by that? The defense has to have a certain alignment?
Yes.
Okay.
The defense has to be in a specific coverage, or you have another play that you hit. And we used that play against the Chiefs on that. It was a Monday Night Football where they blew us out. Remember that that year, where everyone was like, "Oh, the Patriots are done."
Yeah, it was the annual Patriots are done.
Yeah,
storyline.
And so we had the play called when we were getting blown out because we needed to have some kind of offense. We were getting fucking murdered, but we hit JoJo LaFell on the backside slant because of the look. It was a man look. We needed a zone look for it to have it called. So the man look is he hit the backside slant. He actually housed it like 80 yards, and he had a big play. That was like week 4 of the season. And we had that thing going in all the way into the playoffs. And it was one of those things where we got the look.
Is that your favorite play of your career?
No.
Cam
Chancellor hit was my favorite play.
What?
Yeah, the Cam Chancellor 3rd and 14 in the Seattle Super Bowl. Because
I
just remember when I was a kid, we'd be on the street with my brother and my dad, and we'd be throwing the ball around. And, I can remember my dad deep in. And like there'd be a car, and he'd throw it, and he goes, "Can you take the hit from Ronnie Lott? Can you take the hit? The good ones always can take the hit and get up." And I took the hit from one of the Legion of Boom members.
And then you left the stadium and signed an autograph for a parking meter.
I did. I wasn't concussed. It was a hip pointer.
Thanks for coming. This is fun, buddy.
This is awesome.
I'm glad you're in my home. I was in your home. Your home's much nicer than my home.
What are you talking about? This is nice, man. You got sound room.
You didn't even see upstairs. Upstairs is crazy, bro.
Is it?
Oh, no, it's just like a regular old townhouse. His house is gorgeous. So games with names, dudes on dudes. Anything else you want to plug?
NFL Fox Kickoff.
Oh, yeah, you're doing great on that. We didn't even get to that. We covered so many bases. They got you all the way on the end. And who's next? Strahan's next to you?
I was next to I went up to the big show to do half times 2 weeks ago.
But Strahan's got to scooch to his right. You're like leaning to your left because he takes up so much space at the desk.
He's a big man.
But he's from Montclair, New Jersey. He can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Tell him I said it. He knows me.
No,
he's the best.
It's so crazy getting to.
One thing about Fox, I don't know anything about CBS. I always worked for Fox and Fox affiliates. Those pregame shows, postgame shows, they are perfect at picking awesome people to hang with off camera.
Yeah.
Like they are just good guys.
They're all winners.
They're all winners. It's but they're all like kind, good guys.
They really,
James Brown was flying back and forth to DC to take care of his mom. He flew in just to do the show, and then I'd see him on the flights.
We have Kurt now.
Yeah, I know. Kurt Menefee. But James Brown back in the day was.
I worked with James on Inside the NFL.
Kurt Menefee's a great guy. Great
Kurt's
book.
Awesome.
Kurt's phenomenal.
He comes from New York every week. They all come from, we all shoot in studio in LA.
Think of how much fun your job has to be where you commute from New York to LA weekly. Mm-hmm. Like, what else do you need to know about these guys? Yeah. Do you do that at Fox on Pico?
Yeah.
With the avocado room?
Yeah, the avocado room.
Man, I remember the old days. David Hill would come by. So I worked there, and I'll leave with this story. So David Hill, I was doing NFL this morning, and I was making like, I don't know, $3,000 a week. I was there for 3 hours. It was awesome. I was a pothead. It was phenomenal. And I was like, well, I'm really contributing to this show. I should get paid more in my second year. So my second year, we're in Miami for the Super Bowl. And I get a meeting with David Hill to go to his hotel room at the Fountain Blue Hotel. I walk in. He goes, "What the fuck do you want, big Australian guy?" I go, "Listen, I feel like I should make more money." He goes, "How much do you want?" And I'm like, "Just give me $5,000." And he takes out this giant leather book from under his chair, and he puts it down on his lap and opens it, and it's just filled with every employee. It's handwritten, every employee, like you're running numbers in the old days.
Yeah.
And he comes across my name. He takes a pencil out, crosses out $3,000, and writes $5,000. He picks up the phone. He goes like this to me, and he goes, "Hello, security. I need you. There's a drug-addled comedian in my room. I'd like you to get him the fuck out." And he points to the door, and I'm like, "Got it."
And he fired you?
No, he gave me the raise, but he wanted me to get the fuck out of his room.
Oh, shit.
He called security like I had to go. I was like, "That's the coolest guy in the world, David Hill."
I haven't met him.
Well, he retired. You won't meet him. He's probably
I think I've been
Australia.
on a call with him. I don't know.
Oh, he's fucking great. All those guys at Fox are great.
Fox is
Take me back.
It's
yeah.
It's an awesome, it's an awesome work environment. They really have it down kind of like it feels like you're at the stadium when you go there.
It is
not the state, but like I'm saying, like
I know what you
regular
mean.
day work life in NFL. They've like kind of brought it over because we're all football guys.
Is there a coach you wish you played for in the back of your mind? Like I would have gotten along with that guy. This could be the final question.
I would have loved to play for McVay because he could get you open. I get 140 balls in that offense.
105 was your high?
That was my high. And then I would love to play for Andy Reid.
I don't get credit for knowing that. A Jets fan, I know you're high.
It was a week.
How many targets?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. Was it like 140? 130?
I don't know. Buddy, we got to bounce.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me on, bro.
You're my boy, dude. Are you going back to PT anytime soon?
I don't know.
Jay Mohr's my uncle.